showcase my love and desire and passion for why I bought this property. I have been dreaming since I graduated college, or even when I was in college. I've been wanting to do a Can I just stop and just take a moment here as I'm walking down my driveway, showing the house in the background, that I'm wearing a hoodie? I love the fall. I think the fall might be one of my favorite times of year. It's not that I love the cold, and it's not like I hate the heat. I love summers, you know. I love spring, I love winter. But fall to me is like the crisp air. You know, the leaves are changing. They're beautiful out. It's going to be beautiful here in a few weeks. All around me is going to be just all different types of colors, and it's going to be really, really pretty, especially on my property, but just in all of New England, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then as a sports fan, as I am, you know, you have baseball playoffs, and then you have the start of football, basketball, and hockey. It's just, for me, I love the fall. And I mean, if you go back into my whole brand being, you know, Ghost, it kind of emulates out of the fall. Ghost stands for Ground Home Operation Stealth Transportation, which was the original acronym. But now I've turned that into Ghost Design and Build. You know, that's why I use the colors that I use, which is that burnt orange. It's like that October orange to me. I don't drink often, but when I do like to have Oktoberfest, which right now is that time of year where Sam Adams Oktoberfest is out. So anyways, I'm filming later in the day. I don't think it's like 5 o'clock or something. As you can see, the road is right here, by the way, on my piece of property. I don't know if I showed this, but we had a couple trees that we cut down. That was to actually give me some more solar onto the panels, some more hours of sun. And we only did these two because they were already leaning this way, and it was a little bit easier for us to cut them down. I still need to cut like 1, 2, 3, I'd say at least 3 more down to get probably about 3 more hours of sun, which could really, really help me for my solar panels. And by about 12:30, I'm already in shade, so I don't get that much solar right now, but I'll obviously have that fixed once I do a little bit of clearing. I am right on the edge of my property line, so you can't see it, but there's an orange tape around a pole right over there, and that is actually my neighbor. That's, well, nobody's there. I don't have anybody. There's no neighbors on the side, and my neighbor on this side is way over there. I know the person that bought this land next to me, but they actually don't plan on doing anything for the next 5 years, which will actually be great for me because of what I'm about to share with everybody. The people across the street, you can't see it, but there's a lake or a pond down on the other side of the street. So all the houses on that side of the street are obviously down by the lake because that would make the most sense for them. So I'm not in the middle of nowhere, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. The town that I am in is only like 1,100 people. However, the town next to me is like 8,000. I'm pretty darn close to the center of the 8,000 population town. And then the city of Portland is only like 50 minutes away. So Naples is close by, which is, I'm in the lakes region of Maine. And then I have a ski mountain right down the street, which is again why I wanted this property, because it's a 4-season area. I showed this in another vlog, but I paid someone to come in and actually clear out this area. This area where the tiny house is at, you can't see her, but Glacier's watching me in the window. This area where the tiny is at, and like where I'm standing in my truck, was pretty much like just a lot of overgrowth, which is like kind of what's over there. There was already a clearing here. There wasn't any trees. So I had somebody come in and he cleared all of this out, took off the topsoil, cleared all the brush, and cleared all the trees to make a driveway. We put down this crusher stone, or they put down the crusher stone. I think I explained all this in that video. We put down crusher stone. I think that's what it's called. Crusher stone as a landing pad for the tiny house. Boom. So the original plan was to have a shop space on the other side of the stream, which I'm going to show you in a minute. There's a stream that cuts through the property. I was going to put a septic system actually over here because that's where the soil testing was done. And then 100 feet away, I was going to put a water tank over there, and that would be able to do, and I was going to do a pump house up there, and I was going to have water going to the tiny, and obviously septic for the tiny as well, just in case for gray water or whatever else. things have changed for the better, I think. On the other side of the stream, I wanted to put a massive shop space. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do like a 40 by 40 shop space. I'm gonna have this big garage. I'm gonna do all these cool stuff and have a lot of fun toys and blah, 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 blah. I knew once I got here, my mind was not gonna change. It was just going to slightly alter. And that's kind of what happened. I got here, I was able to decompress from the past year, because the past year I've been working on this thing day in and day out, and it's been treacherous. I'm enjoying living in the tiny. I'm getting to kind of see what my wants and needs out of life are. I am not in the business of, you know, being a van builder. That's not what I've never done that. I've never built a van for a client. I'm not in the business of building tiny houses for clients. I'm not in that business. Will I work for somebody? Absolutely. Will I be a designer or be a lead designer or maybe something along those lines for a tiny house or a van building company? Absolutely, I would do that. I have to do it remotely. So I asked myself, if I put a shop space on the other side, why am I doing that? Everything that I do in life, I ask myself, why am I doing that? Am I doing it to make myself happy? Am I doing it to appease an audience? Am I doing it to appease a family member or maybe a significant other that I don't even have? Am I doing it to appease Glacier? In the end, I need to appease myself and Glacier, the most important thing. So having the shop space really wasn't appealing to me. And I was like, what is appealing to me? What do I want to do? So I want to create this area into a workable storage shed space. I just have to obviously do a lot of prepping and planning. I need to obviously put down a foundation. I need to check the requirements for my town, and I know most towns you can have a certain square footage space without getting any permits. And this is actually gonna be an off-grid shed. I'm gonna put an entirely different system into this shed. Now, like I was saying a minute ago, I've got all this sun that comes over here and will will get sun onto these solar panels, but I'll have a completely separate solar system just for the shed. And why is that? Because I need to have a temperature control in the shed. So I'm going to have heat, whether it's a wood burning stove or a diesel heater. I will have to have some sort of heating apparatus for the shed. So this area will be shed space. And I'm trying to do this before winter, by the way. Like I have to check with the town to make sure I can do this, but the stream, which we're going to walk to right now, is right through this brush. And I don't know if I want to create a road that goes through this way or another access point on the other side of the stream, which I did check with the town, and I am allowed to put another driveway into the same property as long as they are, I think, 50 feet apart from each other. It's just there's so much brush. I can't get over there. Glacier makes it look so freaking easy. One of the reasons why I bought this property was actually this right here. This stream that runs through this, to me, is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. I love the aspect of the stream. I have gotten a lot of rainfall of recent because we had a tropical storm that came through. It didn't really affect my property that much because I'm kind of far inland. So this is all runoff from the mountainside coming down. And there's like a whole bunch of, if you walk the road, there's a whole bunch of streams all the way down. There's all the runoff from the mountain, which is, I think it's super cool. This area is what I was talking about, that I was going to put a garage space, and I was going to have either access from the road, which is over there, or from my tiny over this way. And I'd have to build a like a bridge to come over the stream. Again, I'd have to check the town to make sure that that's all legal, which I doubt it is. So I was probably just gonna have a separate access off the road. Property line isn't all that big, to be honest with you. It comes on a diagonal right here, and it shoots up all the way up there. And I have to actually have, if I was to build anything over here, I have a setback from this stream. I have to be so far away from it to do any type of building. So instead of doing a garage space over here, I am now thinking of setting up a couple yurts. A yurt and a bus, or a yurt or two yurts, or two yurts and a bus, or maybe a yurt and an A-frame. I would like to make this into a 4-season glamping situation, a yurt, an A-frame, and parking for vans. Set that up hopefully over the next couple of years. Obviously, to clear all of this, or to clear a lot of this, it's going to cost me a lot of money. Where I don't know yet. I haven't figured that part out yet. All I do know is that's kind of what's in my head right now, is to clear this area out and make some sort of glamping area. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk up the mountain a little ways. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this mammoth jamma. This guy is big. It's a massive rock. And that's gonna probably stay, to be honest with you, because I like it. Now I need to find the property line. The property line is actually a stone wall, which makes my life a heck of a lot easier. Now, to keep people's bearings straight, that's a stone wall right there. I'm on the same side as where the glamping would be. My tiny house is on the other side of the stream, but it's way down there. I need to make my way over there because this is where the plan gets crazy. This is going to be my multi-year project. This is really what's going to, I don't want to say put me on the map, but this is going to really showcase my love and desire and passion for why I bought this property. With all that said, I have been dreaming since I graduated college, or even when I was in college. I've been wanting to do a container home. I'm pointing over there because that's where it's going to go, but I've been wanting to do a container home for as long as I can remember. When I bought the property, I had no intention of doing that. I was like, I'm just gonna put my tiny house on here, I'm gonna be good, I just wanna be out in the middle of the woods. Now that I am here, and now that I've let it soak in, and now that I know that my overall dream was to always do a container home, I am that close to have the ability to do so. The only thing that is keeping me from that is money. So it is my objective and goal over the next 6 months, because that's winter time, to find the money to make that project work and the glamping possible, kind of simultaneously. But really there isn't much to the glamping. That is going to be a lot of money. If I had to guess, it's going, and I can stretch a dollar, but if I had to guess, it's going to be in the $150,000 range. I don't have $150,000. I'm nowhere close to that, actually. There's a lot of people that have seen this property and have said it ain't possible. So I also want to prove them wrong, and I want to prove myself that I can do it. But let's take a walk over there. I'm actually going to cut the camera and we'll pick it up over there. It's really beautiful there, isn't it? All right, so this is where I am sort of projecting where the container house would go. Now, it's a little bit of a flat spot, but my tiny, you probably can't see it, and my white truck is down there, probably 120 feet from it. And then I'm about another 30 feet up the hill. So 30 feet high and maybe 100 feet, maybe 120 feet over or back or further. Now, the problem with being right here is the property line is right there. There's a chair actually out there. You might not be able to see it. I know it'd be kind of really scary at night, but it's actually, people probably use it for hunting in the past. It's been sitting there a while. That's on the other person's property. So I can't be that close to the property line. So I'm probably gonna have to come a little bit over this way, which is fine because I have loosely measured off of the stream, and the stream is like this and then cuts back way up that way. So I've got a big area right here where I can place a couple containers on and make it all work. Far enough away from the property line that I feel comfortable with it. When I say container home, I'm not talking just one container. I'm talking multiple stacked containers. Multiple stacked containers kind of projecting out this way. Now, if I can get the measurements done exactly right the way that I want them to be, again, this is all just in my head. It's going to take years to prep and people to hire and certain things like that. But if I can plan it out correctly, I want to kind of create a container falling water. A shout out to Frank Lloyd Wright, which is the architect of the famous house called Falling Water. I believe it's in Pennsylvania. He had it over multiple waterfalls and such. I don't have that luxury. So what I would like to do is kind of have the containers kind of hover out over the stream, because I cannot build within, on the plans it says 75 feet of the stream. However, I believe that this is an unnamed stream, and I have to look this up, but an unnamed stream in the state of Maine, I actually have a setback of only 25 feet. So if it is a 25-foot setback, I am pretty much standing almost where I could actually have the building up to, and I can project out a container out to kind of perch over, or cantilever, if you want to use technical terms, over the stream. This will be an actual house. This will not be an off-grid house. There will be solar and things like that attached to it, but I will have plumbing to septic. I will have water going into the house. I have to plan all these things out. This is a multi-year project, and this goes back to, you know, you got to plan these things. You got to make sure that you know what you're doing, and hiring the right engineers to come out here and sign off on things, and checking in with towns and permits and all that stuff. And this is not going to happen overnight. I'm sharing all this with you guys because I'm excited about it. I'm sharing all this because I want you guys to come along for the journey with me. And this goes back to the beginning of the video where I said thank you to a lot of the viewers. A lot of my viewers that have been watching my vlogs consistently, you know, watched me all the way back in 2018 when I was living in a van, broke. And I had dreams and aspirations of being where I am today, right here, right now. So I can only say thank you to them again. Thank you to the ones that have stuck with me since 2018. And if you left and come back, then great, welcome back. I love it. And if you're new, hey, awesome, stick around. The vlogs will continue having a lot of fun. I've got a lot of traveling coming up. I got a lot of events coming up, and the tours are always gonna continue doing my thing. I'll see you guys later.